everyone, welcome to the KAS True Crime channel. I'm your host, King Angel, or Angel if you want to just call me that. Northern California based live content creator and streamer as well. How you guys doing today? Happy Saturday. It is a cold, gray day here in Northern California, and it's perfect for true crime. I mean, why not? You know what we do? We're going to be reading some true crime daily cases today, discussing them, watching some news videos. Today we're going to keep it to the cases. I started a little late today, I apologize. My wife wasn't feeling very well, and it is really cold today, so it was hard to get out of bed in and of itself. Like yesterday, you're probably going to hear really cold just a background, because I want to make sure that buzzing sound doesn't start, which was the problem I had yesterday during the live stream, and it seems to be a recurring issue now, and I don't know why. So occasionally you will hear my voice repeated, like now. A recurring issue now, and I don't know. So I just want to make sure that buzzing sound doesn't happen. But let me know in chat if it does happen. If you're watching me on YouTube, like my videos, comment on them. Let me know what you think. I'm just gonna go really quickly through the advertisement portion of my live stream, of course, because I'm trying to build this community as much as possible. So if you're watching me on YouTube, like I said, like my videos, comment on them, let me know what you think. Subscribe to my channel. To all the new subscribers that I just saw this morning that subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Hope to see you here in the live streams at some point, but if not, always just check out the videos, comment on them, let me know what you think. I again try to keep it to a reading, discussion, chat kind of live stream, I guess. Let's see, let me verify that. So how we do it here is I do check out the website True Crime Daily beforehand, just to see the titles of the cases, but I don't actually read them, because the whole point is reading them with you and that we have the same reaction while I read it, and you know, we go through all the emotions together. So that's how we do it here. Again, we read, discuss, chat, watch news videos. There are other episodes, like yesterday's episode where we just did a calm puzzle episode. I loved it quite a lot. It actually helped with alleviating a bit of the pressure that I've been feeling lately, because like I mentioned yesterday in the live stream, I've been taking some intense trainings on some skills that I wanted to improve on, and it's been pretty wonderful. I'm not gonna lie, I've learned a whole fucking lot in the last 2 weeks, solidifying the skills that I already had, adding more to them. So I don't know, I have a job interview on Monday, and I'm kind of nervous about it, because it's a pretty good job. Like I'm really hoping to be able to use all the skills that I've accumulated up until this point. I mentioned it yesterday, I work in the manufacturing industry. I am a production manager, director of manufacturing, of inventory. I've worn many hats, I've led many people, and it's what I like to do. I don't know, man, I'm a leader at heart. That's the case, that's basically it. But nonetheless, YouTube, if you're watching me on Twitch, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Like I mentioned, it is really cold today. Really cold. A really gray, rainy day. Perfect for horror movies. If you are interested in watching horror movies with me, join the Discord. That is discord.com/KAS True Crime. I'll go back to Twitch right now, but I wanted to prove a point with the Discord part. We watch horror movies, crime movies, thrillers, documentaries. The whole point is the engagement and the chat. So while we watch these things, we discuss them. We talk about it. We interact with each other. Conversation is really important. And if you find yourself bored, dude, it's the best place to be. So that's discord.com/KAS True Crime. It's free. All you have to do is create an account and join the server. For those watching me on Twitch, if you want to further support me, you can use your Amazon Prime. That would help me out immensely. If not, just follow the channel on Twitch, and you can turn on notifications there so that it just lets you know when I go live, and you won't miss the live stream. Same for YouTube as well. If you subscribe to the channel and then you click on the little bell, it'll notify you when I do go live. So I would love to see you guys in the live stream. Would love to see you guys in a Discord. I have a Patreon as well if you want to further support me. That's $1 a month. Patreon.com/KAS True Crime. You get a whole bunch of benefits. Mostly transferable to Twitch, at least some of the benefits, because it's easier to add channel points to Twitch so that viewers can use them there. So it directs, like, again, all of the, not all, but probably like 15, 16 benefits for members there, maybe a little more. 2 or 3 of them are Twitch related. Once this YouTube channel passes the 1,000 subscribers, then from that point on I'm able to do the same here for YouTube, and I'll add that to Patreon. Also, Patreon members get access to audio versions of the live streams, and soon enough I'm going to add them to Spotify as well for Patreon members only, and on top of that they're downloadable and stuff. There are videos that are exclusive to Patreon members as well. Some of the ones that I upload on YouTube, I make them private just for Patreon members. I mean, it's at least it's just to get the ball rolling and seeing if the community can grow in that manner. But again, you get access to a whole bunch of things that other viewers that are not subscribed to my Patreon get. So again, it's patreon.com/KAS True Crime if you're interested. $1 a month. It would help me out immensely. And yeah, Instagram, Facebook. If you're watching me on Facebook, how's it going? You haven't liked the page yet. It's pretty new. I only have two people that have liked the actual page for this channel. All of the videos are automatically added to Facebook, so I mean you get that benefit. So if you're on Facebook, dude, just like the page. Why not? You'll have access to a whole bunch of live streams that I do here. I mean, it's transferable. Really think about it. And I mean transferable in the sense that you get access to the live streams on Facebook, and it's accessible to you. Boom. Let me see. What other thing? Am I missing anything? YouTube, Twitch. I already mentioned the Discord. Follow me on TikTok. I would really appreciate that. That's where I'm actually getting the most followers from. So shout out to TikTok, and follow me there. And that's about it on that portion. If you are hearing the audio version of this live stream, then I greatly appreciate it. That means that you're a Patreon member, and I appreciate the support. We will jump right into reading these true crime daily cases and going through them. I know this person's probably not watching this, but happy birthday to a really good friend of mine. B, if you're watching this, which you're probably not, but if you were to watch it, happy birthday. I wish you the best, my dude. You just hit 40 today. And I'm going to hit 40 this year too. Shit. Been around for a while, but happy I met you. You're my dude. Hope you have a great happy birthday. Hope you have at least a cake cut for you. Man, the older you get, the less chances you get of getting a cake. Or a cookie. I hope he eats a cookie today. Yeah, but nonetheless, dude, you know who you are. Happy birthday. And anyone else whose birthday was today, I wish you many more years of life and health and money and all that good stuff. Shout out to my niece as well. Her birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday. Let's move on to this other screen. And we're going to start this true crime daily case. Move on to this other screen. And I guess the buzzing sound didn't happen. So we're looking good. Looking good. Wait, did it really have the other one open? No. Okay. Alright, True Crime Daily. First case we're going to Houston. Title says, Houston woman allegedly fatally strangled missing teen girlfriend during fight about STD. Published January 12, 2024, and this is in Texas. And it says, police arrested a woman this week on suspicion of strangling her teen girlfriend to death and dumping her body near a bayou. The Houston Police Department said Harris County deputies, patrol officers, and investigators found a female body, later identified as 18-year-old Tiara Horn, at 1900 Nance Street on Friday, January 5th at around 5:40 p.m. She was pronounced dead at the scene. KRIV-TV reports an autopsy showed Horn died due to compression to the neck. Horn's family reportedly hadn't seen or heard from her since January 2nd, and they reported her missing on January 4th, a day before police made the discovery. Court records reviewed by KPRC-TV allege Horn and her girlfriend, Shania Turner, got into a fight. Turner believed Horn gave her a sexually transmitted disease, and then she allegedly strangled Horn and dumped her remains on the Buffalo Bayou Trail, where the body was found. Police arrested Turner on Thursday, January 11th, and booked her into the Harris County Jail on a charge of murder. Question is, how'd she get the STD? I don't know. There's something behind this. See what KPRC has to say about this. Is it a video? Or is this just... Nah. It's the same article. If this is your first time here, when we go through the more section of the article, which is the bottom portion, if normally they would have like videos, but sometimes the articles that are linked to the True Crime Daily case webpage don't really have any other additional information. Or in this case, I mean, we do have a video now. This is from Fox Houston. Title says, Houston crime, missing 18-year-old, body found. Her girlfriend is now charged with murder. We'll watch this one, but the other one I opened, it didn't have any video. Oh. Okay, let's see. Following this up.
Well, murder charges are being typed as we speak against a woman accused of killing an 18-year-old who was reported missing last week. Fox 26's Abigail Dye spoke with the victim's sister. She's joining us live with these breaking details tonight. Abigail.
Caroline, yet another missing persons case turned homicide investigation here in Houston. And like you said, breaking tonight, we just got news of an arrest in that case. I just got off the phone with investigators about 10 minutes ago who say they arrested Shania Turner, and they're filing those murder charges as we speak. And the victim's family tells me that Turner was dating the victim at the time of this killing. 18 years old. We can all agree that's too young to die.
I still haven't seen her body yet, so I think that's why that may be a little bit scary.
Rokisha Colton reported her sister Tiara Horn missing last Thursday. She hadn't answered her phone since Tuesday, but that phone pinged at an apartment complex in North Downtown.
And then I started feeling nauseous. This same feeling I had when my mom passed.
Just around the corner in thick brush, police made a tragic discovery Friday.
Today we were searching for the missing person and found a body of an adult female.
Tiara's family came out here the night her body was found, and her sister says that night she knew who the killer was, or at least who had something to do with it.
When she met this particular person that we're talking about, she just got off track.
She says shortly after their mom died in 2021, Tiara met someone.
She and Tiara were together, and do you feel like she was violent?
Oh, yeah.
Dangerous?
Yeah. I got pictures.
She says that woman lives in those apartments just around the corner from where Tiara was found. Now, instead of planning her little sister's birthday, she's planning a funeral.
I am mad about it. I will forgive them. I just want them just to pay for what they did, and I can move forward with my life. It won't be easy, but I could get by.
Damn, she lost her mom
Again,
and
the
her
woman
sister.
that police arrested tonight is Shania Turner, and this information is just so fresh. These charges are just now being filed, and we don't have those documents yet.
And I'm still curious as to know, was it that she had, well, it says that she gave her a sexually transmitted disease, but, again, who gave her the STD? Damn, pretty sad. Again, that person lost her mom and her sister, so, the worst of the double whammies that could exist. Alright, moving on. We're going to Florida. Title says, Domino's delivery driver fatally shot during robbery on his second day of work. Damn. True Crime Daily published January 12, 2024, and this is in West Palm Beach. And it says, police arrested 2 men and a woman for allegedly shooting and killing a 33-year-old man who had just delivered pizza to a birthday party. West Palm Beach Police Department spokesman Mike Jackless said in a video, police officers responded to 9th Street and Douglas Avenue on Tuesday, January 9th at 12:50 p.m. and found a male victim who had been obviously shot. Officers attempted life-saving measures on the man until the West Palm Beach Fire Department arrived and transported him to the hospital, where he died. WPTV-TV identified the man as Tommy Anderson III. Jackless said Anderson was shot right after he completed a delivery to a birthday party in the area. Investigators reportedly do not believe the shooting is connected to the party where he dropped off the pizzas. WPTV reports 25-year-old Elijah Wingfield, 25-year-old Aviana Williams, and 29-year-old Marcus Williams were arrested Wednesday, January 10th, on charges of first-degree murder with a firearm. According to the arrest affidavit, surveillance video showed a white Honda with a unique dent on the rear door of the driver's side, and one of the people in the car was reportedly wearing a round hockey-styled mask. At one point, the Honda reportedly pulled up directly next to Anderson's car. Wingfield allegedly had a 9mm handgun and a semi-automatic gun in his possession, while Marcus Williams was reportedly carrying a large knife and AR-15 rifle. The affidavit alleges Aviana Williams drove the Honda, and Wingfield saw Anderson near his car. Wingfield allegedly said, "Let's see what he's got," and he and Marcus Williams exited the car. The men reportedly approached Anderson, and Wingfield said, "I ain't playing with you. This ain't a game." Marcus Williams said Wingfield shot Anderson 3 times. They saw Anderson fall to the ground. Then they drove off. Marcus Williams and Wingfield both admitted to wearing black ski masks during the robbery. Wingfield told police he robbed Anderson because he was expecting a paycheck which he didn't receive. Anderson's father, Tommy Anderson Jr., spoke with WPTV and said Anderson was the father of a 6-year-old and a 13-year-old. Tuesday was reportedly only his second day on the job. Anderson Jr. said he was just trying to make ends meet for my 2 grandkids. That's all he was trying to do. Wow. Second day on the job, they robbed him for pizza and a supposed paycheck that he was supposed to be receiving, but it was only his second day on the job. I'm thoroughly confused as to what these individuals thought they were doing for delivering a pizza. Isn't that something, huh? What did they think he had? Like, how much money could someone delivering a pizza have that would be substantial enough for you to rob him when you have weapons that aren't necessarily cheap? So I'm confused. Are you robbing him to try to make the money back for the money you spent on all the guns that you bought? Jeez, second day on the job. That's insane. I'm telling you, people are losing their minds. Let's see if we have any video here. Okay, this is from CBS 12 News. Let's see what they have to say.
50 Tuesday afternoon, the West Palm Beach at 12:50 Tuesday afternoon, the West Palm Beach Police Department received a 911 call that a person was shot at 9th and Douglas. When our officers arrived on scene, they found a man lying in the road. He had obviously been shot. Officers immediately began CPR. They began life-saving measures. The West Palm Beach Fire Department took the man to St. Mary's Medical Center, where he was unfortunately pronounced dead shortly after arrival. West Palm Beach Police homicide detectives have released that the man was a pizza delivery driver for Domino's Pizza. He had just completed a delivery to an apartment at 9th and Douglas when there was some type of altercation outside after that delivery. We don't believe that delivery, we don't believe that altercation involved the delivery. We don't believe that altercation involved the location where that delivery was made. That was for a birthday party. But once that pizza delivery man made the delivery and left, something happened that led to the shooting. So that is currently what our detectives are focusing on. And they're currently asking anybody that might have any information to call the West Palm Beach Police at 561-822-1900. Or if you have information or have video from the area just before 1 o'clock at 9th and Douglas that might yield some evidence, you can call Crime Stoppers of Palm Beach County. That number is 1-800-458-TIPS, 1-800-458-8477. Information called into Crime Stoppers that leads to an arrest can result in a cash reward for the tipster. So currently, that's what we have. It's an active investigation. Detectives have recovered some evidence. There were some shell casings that were recovered at the scene. And we currently have an investigation going on into the death of this pizza delivery man who is believed to be from Riviera Beach.
Damn, can't even deliver a pizza, huh? Betty, how are you doing today? Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. Very sad. Damn. Second day on the job, trying to take care of his 2 kids. Robbed. A pizza delivery guy. That's insane. I mean, I don't know. Our business is going to, in open carry states, they're going to have to start providing weapons to their delivery drivers, because it's not the first time this happened. And whether it's problems with like Uber Eats or something like that, or people that work for Uber Eats having issues with people that order food and whatnot, I don't know. I think we're going to have to get to that point. That's great to hear, Betty, that you're doing well. It is a gray, rainy, dark day here in Northern California, which is wonderful. I might add, it's just a little too cold for my taste. All right, we're going to South Carolina. Title says, South Carolina father, stepmother accused of fatally strangling son and hiding body in camper cabinet in 1989. Published January 11th, 2024, True Crime Daily, and this is in Monk's Corner. Detectives recently reviewed a 1989 cold case, which led to the arrest of a father and stepmother this week on suspicion of killing their 5-year-old son and hiding his body in a camper. According to a news release from the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office, on Friday, March 3rd, 1989, at approximately 11 a.m., 5-year-old Justin Turner headed out to a neighbor's residence to ride the school bus. His stepmother, Megan Turner, formerly known as Pamela Turner, said she was taking a shower at the time. When she went to meet her stepson at the bus stop after school, Turner reportedly said she learned he never got on the bus and didn't show up to school, according to an arrest warrant obtained by WCSC-TV. Turner said she previously had an argument with the boy before he left, but she last saw him alive inside their home. A neighbor reportedly told officials she went out with her grandson to catch the bus in the morning, but Justin Turner never showed up. A 2-day search for the boy ensued and ended on Sunday, March 5th, 1989, when his father, Victor Turner, found the child's body in a cabinet inside a camper on their property, the sheriff's office said. In an arrest warrant reviewed by WCSC, investigators stated the child's father found his son within seconds of entering the camper and moments after the search party began its search. Investigators learned the Turners were allegedly the only ones who had access to the camper. Officials ruled the boy's death a homicide. According to WCSC, court documents allege the child was strangled to death with a ligature in the early morning hours of March 3, 1989, and he had been placed inside the camper shortly after. The victim's stepmother reportedly provided misinformation to investigators about her specific whereabouts on the morning of Friday, March 3, 1989, and provided inconsistent information about her activities. According to WCSC, investigators found a ligature in Megan Turner and Victor Turner's home that matched the wounds found on the victim's neck. The fibers on the ligature were also reportedly consistent with the child's shirt material. After learning about the evidence found at the scene, Victor Turner and Megan Turner allegedly expressed concern and devised a plan to conceal potential evidence, and provided spontaneous incriminating statements to indicate responsibility in the death. However, despite investigators' efforts, the case went cold. It was reopened in April 2021 when investigators used new technology and submitted physical evidence from the scene to forensic pathologists. As a result, detectives identified Megan Turner and Victor Turner as the primary suspects and arrested them at their home in Cross Hill, South Carolina, on January 9th. The suspects have been transported back to Berkeley County and remain held in the Hill-Finklia Detention Center. According to records, they each face a charge of murder. Berkeley County Sheriff Dwayne Lewis said in a statement, "We have dedicated detectives who are committed to reviewing and investigating criminal cases where factors have prevented a timely resolution of justice." Listen, if you know me, you know I thoroughly enjoy cold cases, especially ones that are back like from the 70s, 80s, 90s that had remained cold this whole time, and the perpetrators of those crimes went to quote unquote live normal lives, like the Golden State Killer. It took way too much time for him to be arrested. Imagine this, 1989. This was 35 years ago? It rained a whole lot during those years, let me tell you. And they thought they had gotten away with it. But little did they know, with the power of technology, that they were going to eventually pay for the crimes that they committed. Against a 5-year-old kid, mind you. They just lived their lives. I mean, look, they're old already. It's 35 years ago. Quite some time. Sorry, I didn't see chat. Okay, the Uber Eats drivers sometimes eat the customer's food. Yes, they do. I've seen those videos a lot on TikTok. It's funny when the customers that order the food catch them in the act while they're eating said food. That's cold-blooded there, because it's pretty expensive to order those services and whatnot. So you're losing out not only on the food that you ordered, which you were probably hungry because you wanted to eat, and on top of that, you have to deal with the fact that someone random just ate said food too. So I agree with you, Betty. Thankfully, now parents get a phone call when their child is absent. Love DNA, of course. And you know what's funny? Now that you mentioned DNA, I think if I remember correctly, the first case that was that had like DNA analysis in it was in the early 90s. Like it was like 1991, 1992. So it's not as if the technology had existed beforehand and they could do said data DNA analysis and whatnot to be able to catch these perpetrators that commit these crimes. But luckily for us, because it's been 35 years and technology has advanced to the point where it is now, boom, we get these type of cases where they're caught. And it feels so good. Feels so good. It's not always that we get a case like this, but ever so often we get this one, and it just, I mean, it sucks for the kid because, I mean, this is the child that was killed. Justice for you, kid. That's at least, I mean, better late than never. Alright, let's see if we can find anything interesting to watch in regards to this. Let's see, Lisa Steinberg was the first case I followed. So tragic. Let's see. Just as a little side. Let's see. She was born May 14th, 1981. Daughter of resident, supposed to have an abortion. Tell you what, that's interesting because I'm adopted, so it's interesting to read a case about someone that is. I'm just quickly going through this article just to understand who this person is. T, including she won her life. This crazy. I was raised in New York City. Teachers remember her well. Okay, so she was a victim of abuse. Okay, so doctors and nurses were appalled when they examined Lisa on the morning of November 2nd, 1987. She had cuts on both her arms, legs, abdomen, stomach, and head. Her feet and ankles were covered with a crust of black dirt and grime. Lisa's long, once beautiful hair was a twisted, matted mess and had not been washed for quite some time. Under her tangled mane, doctors discovered a severe fresh bruise on her forehead. Shit. When they turned Lisa over on her belly, they found one large, unusual bruise near the center of her lower back. Her upper back was covered with both old and new bruises, red, black, and blue in color. Both calves had yellowish-brown marks, apparently from old injuries. She had bruising and trauma marks on her buttocks. How precisely she obtained these injuries remained unclear since Lisa never regained consciousness. Her brain was hemorrhaging and she was already near death. Dang. Her father was an attorney, huh? Had run in the bathroom for 4 hours. Fully aware that she was injured, went out to meet friends. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to jump to where maybe they speak a little of this case. Like, what actually happened to her. Let's see. Let's see. So, what killed Lisa? To sustain a charge of murder, they would have to conclusively establish the cause of death. Okay, so although Lisa was brought into a St. Vincent's hospital on the morning of November 2nd, 1987, in a fatal coma, she did not die officially until November 5th when she was removed from her life support. Okay, so the medical examiner who performed Lisa's autopsy wrote in her initial reports that the victim's injuries were suggestive but not conclusive of trauma. During her testimony during the week of November 12, 1988, though, she stated that Lisa may have died from blunt trauma as a result of a homicide. Dang. Okay, let's see. So this one's called Lisa's Last Night. So head and answer was on the staff for each day. Okay, so this person, Hedda Nussbaum, said she told the court that Steinberg awoke about 3 p.m. She said that she had not slept at all during the night before. The first thing that I remember is that Joel asked both Lisa and myself if we had drunk enough water that day. Joel being, as Betty just said, her, I think it's the parent. Oh, Hedda was also abused. Oh, okay, so this is like, okay, this is like a conundrum of things. Interesting. Okay, so she said, when she told him that she did not, Steinberg made Hedda and Lisa eat hot pepper. According to Hedda, Steinberg then stated that he was going out for dinner. A few minutes later, Lisa asked Hedda, do you think Daddy is going to take me with him tonight? Hedda said she replied to Lisa, well, go in and ask him for yourself. Lisa went into the bedroom where Steinberg was getting dressed while Hedda went to the bathroom. According to Hedda's testimony, Steinberg then walked into the bathroom holding Lisa, who was unconscious. Hedda said this occurred about 6 p.m. She was lying in his arms, limp, she said, and I said, what happened? He said, what's the difference? What happened? This is your child. Hasn't this gone far enough? They laid the unconscious girl on the bathroom floor while Hedda attempted to revive her, but Lisa was not responding. While she continued her efforts at first aid, Hedda said Steinberg went to the bedroom and finished dressing for dinner with his friend. At about 7 p.m., Steinberg was ready to leave. Hedda testified that she was worried about Lisa, but listened to Steinberg when he promised he would get her up when he got back. She told the court that Steinberg called the apartment while he was out and asked how Lisa was. While he was on the phone, Steinberg gave Hedda permission to eat. Oh, wow. She said she told him that Lisa was still lying on the bathroom floor unconscious. Oh. Wow. Okay, this has like a whole bunch of things in it. There's even like drugs involved. Okay. I'm going to read a little bit more into this because it's not just a something happened and this is the explanation to it. There's like a whole, at least from crimelibrary.org, they have a lot of information on it, because I don't know if you can see this here, but this is all like the different chapters that they have explaining this crime. So Betty, I appreciate you mentioning this. I'm gonna check this out later on once I'm done with the live stream, because it seems very interesting. There's a lot to it that deserves attention. So I appreciate that. Thank you. I love sidestepping and discovering like new cases and whatnot that I hadn't heard about. It seems pretty horrific. I when I stopped reading is when they started talking about the drugs and whatnot, and yeah, once I read that part, I could totally understand that there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. So I appreciate it, and I will definitely read up on it. That's pretty awesome. Awesome the fact that you shared it with me, not what happened. All right, let's move on. And then just to reiterate, I'm so glad that they're in jail. Again, they thought they were going to get away with it. They probably lived their life not even thinking about it. And it's kind of weird because homeboy kind of looks like Harvey Weinstein. I don't know. He has like a... This guy could easily be Harvey Weinstein's older brother, Harry. Okay. Moving on. We're going to Georgia. Title says, Mom convicted nearly 25 years after her 5-year-old son's decomposing body was found near a cemetery. True Crime Daily, published January 10th, 2024. And this is in Decatur. And it says, jury convicted a 46-year-old woman of 1 felony and acquitted her of other charges at almost 25 years after her young son's decomposing body was discovered near a cemetery. On Wednesday, January 10th, the DeKalb County District Attorney's Office announced that Teresa Ann Bailey Black was found guilty of concealing the death of another in connection with her son, William Deshaun Hamilton's death. WAGA-TV reports Black was cleared of murder, aggravated assault, and cruelty to children. The 5-year-old boy's remains were discovered in a wooded area February 26, 1999. Investigators concluded the victim was a black male between 5 and 7 years old, and he had been dead for most likely 3 to 6 months. The child's body appeared to be significantly decomposed. The body could not be positively identified, so he became known as John Clifton Doe. In 2000, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which is NCMEC, published artist renderings of what the victim would have looked like, but there were no leads. 19 years later, a forensic artist with the NCMEC created a new reconstruction, which led to a breakthrough tip in 2020. Someone called the NCMEC and said they knew the boy and his mother. Investigators reopened the case and collected DNA from Black. John Clifton Doe was positively identified as Hamilton in February 2022. According to the District Attorney's Office, in 1998, Black abruptly withdrew her son from school and moved them to Atlanta from Charlotte, North Carolina. She went back to Charlotte in 1999, but without Hamilton. She reportedly told differing stories about his whereabouts. When detectives told her in 2022 that Hamilton was deceased, she reportedly initially expressed surprise. Then, she admitted her son was sick, but she did not seek medical help. She left his body in the woods after he died. The statement says Hamilton had diphenhydramine and acetaminophen in his system, which are medicines commonly used for colds or allergies. WAGA reports DeKalb County District Attorney Sherry Boston said she and her team respect the jury's verdict, but are still disappointed that Black did not get convicted on the other counts. Sherry said, "We still believe she is responsible for young William's death. Teresa Bailey may have walked away and abandoned her son in 1999, but today, I'm proud to say that the people in this room and in this community never did. Today, William Deshaun Hamilton has his name back and he will never be forgotten." You can obviously tell that this is premeditated, because if he had those medicines in his system, she was trying to, in my opinion, drug him enough to make him unconscious so that it would have been a whole lot easier for her to do whatever she did. That's just my opinion. I'm glad she's in jail. There's another case like I just spoke about right now. She thought she got away with it in 1999, and it turns out that 22 years later, bam, jail. Because people fail to realize that it's the power of how technology is changing, and the fact that because of that technology changing so fast, we can reopen all these cold cases, and it's just a matter of obtaining DNA for it. So you're not going to get away with it. That's basically what I'm trying to tell you. And this is proof. And if you think you are, it's just a matter of time before you end up having to pay for it. I mean, it's not every single case that we see. But like, I see you, Casey Anthony, even though you can't get convicted for anything anymore related to that case because you were already found not guilty, but we know. But any other case where people committed those crimes and nothing happened in that moment, or they were able to not, face the law or anything like that, it's only a matter of time, baby. That's how it works, and it makes me very happy. It makes me very happy that my taxpayer money is going towards the funding of new technology to be able to solve cases. Because, again, this brings closure to people. I mean, could you imagine living 23 years, 25, 35 years of your life, having that looming over your head? Hopefully, it'll get to a point where, because technology is so advanced, that cases can be resolved a lot quicker. And obviously, this amount of time that goes between when it happens and when it's resolved, when the case is solved, doesn't exceed these decades. Bro, it's 3 decades of waiting for an answer on something. Again, it rains a lot during that time. Yep, I agree with you, Betty. We all know. I uploaded a video like a week and a half ago of that same thing, and it's a video I saw on TikTok of someone explaining a text message conversation that Casey Anthony was having with her mother, where her mom clearly states that she knows that she did it and that she left Kaylee in the woods. Kind of like this one. Left her in the woods. Yeah. It should be like, probably like if you go into the video section, it's like the 4th or 5th video. You'll notice it's different because you'll see me with a black hoodie as opposed to all the other ones that have like a thumbnail to it, because I took the video from TikTok. But let me know what you think once you watch it. It's pretty interesting, especially what that content creator has to say. Indeed. I mean, listen, the law says that if you are found not guilty on something, I mean, it's, if anything, we should send, it doesn't matter how angry we are, it's the law, and it's not much we can do unless we all collectively send letters to our representatives to try to get that to change. But it clearly says it. If you are found not guilty, that's it. That's why they never did anything about OJ either, because he was found not guilty, and the law clearly states that you can't charge someone with the same for the same crime twice if they were already found not guilty. I don't know. All I know is that lady Casey Anthony, she's living her best life. All right, move on to the next case. I'm already in California, so you guys should just come here and check out this article. Geez. Title says, woman allegedly stabbed her mother to death on Facebook Live. Published January 10th, 2024, True Crime Daily, and this is in San Rafael. And it says, police arrested a 28-year-old woman this week on suspicion of stabbing her mother and live streaming the fatal attack. Because of course. According to the San Rafael Police Department, on Monday, January 8th, shortly before 5 p.m., officers and paramedics responded to an apartment building on Cresta Way in reference to a fight and a stabbing. Calls reportedly came in to police from witnesses and those who viewed a video of the stabbing on Facebook Live. At the scene, police found Tonantzin Beltran standing on the apartment's rear balcony holding a knife in her hand next to her mother, identified by the Marin County Sheriff's Office as 55-year-old Olivia Lucia Beltran Pacheco. The victim had sustained multiple stab wounds and her clothes were soaked in blood. Olivia Lucia Beltran was transported to a local hospital via ambulance with life-threatening injuries, where she died an hour and a half later. Her daughter, which was the person who committed the crime, refused officers' commands, and another team of law enforcement officials forced entry into the apartment and took Beltran into custody. Police contacted Meta to get the video of the stabbing taken down. In an update, officer said the suspect had produced content on many social media platforms and created a video in the lobby of the Santa Rosa Police Department lobby. Oh, wow. A friend of the victim told KNTV TV, the victim leaves behind 2 daughters. Wow. On Facebook Live, huh? It's insane the amount of people that do this. I mean, not only do we have to deal with the horrible pranks that people do on lives and whatnot, and all the weird shit you see people do, especially on TikTok lives. Whew, that is a league of its own right there. This isn't something uncommon. People do live stream these horrible things, and it gets a whole bunch of viewers. Isn't that something, huh? If you Google, just write like live stream murder or anything related to that, you will get a whole bunch of different cases because it's been happening for quite some time. Yeah, I guess they didn't even put a motive as to why she killed her mother, stabbed her. You know, I don't know, like, how morbid does someone have to be? I guess they did call the police while it was happening, but to literally be on your phone or you're sitting on a computer and you're watching someone live stabbing someone, bro, that's insane. Sometimes I watch horror movies and it happens and you kind of like flinch a little bit. Especially, I'll give you an example. If you watch the intro to Goodfellas, they stab someone there repeatedly. Joe Pesci holds no boundaries in this movie, so it's him that's doing the stabbing. It's a movie, and you flinch. Dude, could you imagine watching this shit on Facebook Live and watching someone getting stabbed in that manner? Bro. Yikes. And, yeah, this is like right in the Bay Area. Crazy. It's crazy what people will do for likes and views. It is indeed insane. There was this one content creator I just recently read about that he had been causing some trouble in Japan. Mind you, I mean, a completely different country than where this person is from. This person is from here, from the States. And the country effectively ended up banning him because of the amount of pranks and like just dumb shit that he would do to get these likes and views. Yep. Good for him for being banned. Good for them for banning him, and good for him for being banned and not having entry into a completely foreign country that has nothing to do with the States. The laws are completely different elsewhere. So you may be able to kind of get away with that here, but other countries, they don't have to take it. So, sucks to be him, huh? Alright, let's watch this video from NBC Bay Area. Sorry, I'll restart the video. I don't know what happened.
Shocking homicide in San Rafael. A daughter arrested for killing her own mother, and police say she live streamed the whole thing on Facebook. NBC Bay Area Marianne Favreau has new information from San Rafael.
San Rafael police tell us they received reports of someone screaming near Crystal Way. And at the same time, they also received reports that people were watching on Facebook Live what appeared to be a stabbing. San Rafael police say when they arrived at the apartment yesterday evening, they found two women on a back patio.
While we were there, we were directed to the rear patio of the apartment where officers observed the suspect in this case standing, holding a knife, and covered in blood.
Officers arrested 28-year-old Tunisian Beltran, accused of stabbing to death her 55-year-old mother, Olivia Beltran. Police say the daughter streamed the attack on Facebook Live.
We are currently working with Facebook Meta. That video has been removed from public access, and we are reviewing that video as part of the investigation.
Olivia's longtime friend, Hilda Castillo, says she's devastated. She says Olivia was a passionate activist who spent years fighting for affordable housing and immigrants' rights.
She was a community leader from the beginning. She was a fighter, and she believed in social justice. And that was one of the things that she fought for.
Hilda also says Olivia was a doting mother of two daughters. She said Tunisian had struggled with mental health issues for years, and her mother tried to help her. Police say Olivia was killed inside her daughter's apartment. Olivia lived in a different unit in the same complex. Hilda says she never saw the mother and daughter argue, and she still can't believe that the 28-year-old is now accused of killing her own mom. In San Rafael, Marianne Favreau, NBC Bay Area News.
Damn. It's odd because you're live streaming something that, as much as what officers would want to take the video down, the internet lives forever. So that video has probably already been shared, and clips of it have already been shared from the moment it happened. Anyone that does this type of thing, whether it's like the pranks that are horrible, all the way to this point of committing an actual crime while being live, or, for example, I've mentioned it here before, the case of the two teenagers that killed the guy in Arizona, with the ex-chief of police that was just biking. He was minding his own business with his headphones on, and they just ran him over. And they recorded the whole process, which was then later on used as evidence in court. So if anything, by doing this, you're just spreading the evidence even further. Because, again, the internet is forever. That, and, again, I mentioned it, yes, there are mental health issues, and a lot of people deal with it, but there are a lot of people that have been dealing with severe mental issues all their life, and it never gets to this point. So the fact that a lot of people like to equate one thing with the other is, in my opinion, unnecessary, because while there are instances where that could be true, you know how many cases there are around there where people were going with the insanity excuse that they were not there mentally, and after taking like psychological tests, it was determined that they were completely normal. They were just really hideous people that wanted to commit these crimes. So yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily the best excuse that can be used for every single case. I mean, you know how many times we've seen videos of these where they say that it has something to do with mental health. I don't think it's always mental health. I just think that there are people that are actually just evil. There could be horrible people. For us to be able to determine which people are good, there has to be the contrary to it. So you know who these horrible people are. They exist. There's evil people. I mean, that's it. It's not that they are suffering from anything or anything. There have been many cases also of people that committed crimes that had normal childhoods. They didn't experience any trauma growing up that could be used as like I went through this when I was a child, so it led to this as an adult. Yet they commit crimes. How many people have had completely clean records, never a problem their whole life, and they reach the age of 80, 85. Like the guy that we saw that killed the other person that was in the nursing home because he thought she was a witch. They'd spent their whole lives without committing a crime, and happens at some point. So all I'm trying to say is, it's not always because there's a mental health issue involved in it. It's just that there are evil, horrible, horrendous people that just don't share the same values as other people that are not those things. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Because, see, Betty agrees. And that's I don't know. That's how I see it. It's easy to just write it off as something because it's more palpable. But the reality is that, yeah, dude, it's just that there's just horrible people. You see it all the time. Every day, from the most minuscule things all the way to these crimes that we see. There's just horrible people. Alright, moving on. We're going to Colorado. Title says, Colorado grandmother caught after allegedly kidnapping her grandchildren in May. True Crime Daily, published January 12, 2024. And this is in Grand Junction. And it says, a 67-year-old woman was arrested 8 months after she allegedly abducted her 2 young children who were considered endangered and missing. A 9-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl were last seen May 14th, 2023 with their grandmother, Jacqueline Ballard, at a home on Aspen Lane in Hotchkiss. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation said Ballard was their non-custodial family member, and she was believed to be driving a gray Subaru Outback. On June 1st, a U.S. Marshal working for the Colorado Violent Offender Task Force in Grand Junction learned about the missing children and started working with state and local law enforcement agencies to help locate them. Officials out of Hotchkiss and Delta County issued an arrest warrant for Ballard on a charge of violating a custody order. The U.S. Marshals Violent Offender Task Force adopted the investigation, which escalated it to a major case status. In a statement, the U.S. Marshals said officials conducted an aggressive investigation into the whereabouts of Ballard and the children. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation issued a missing person alert, which led investigators to reportedly learn Ballard had connections to 5 different states in the western United States. The Colorado Violent Offender Task Force issued 12 warrants during their investigation and eventually learned Ballard would be traveling back to Hotchkiss with the missing children. On Wednesday, January 10th, officers from several law enforcement agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security, United States Postal Service inspectors, and others, surveilled Ballard's home on Aspen Avenue. Investigators spoke with the children's aunt, Danielle Ballard, and eventually made their way into Ballard's home, where they located the 2 kids. The U.S. Marshals said the safety of the children was of the utmost priority. They are now in the custody of Child Protective Services. Jacqueline Ballard and Danielle Ballard were both arrested and booked into the Delta County Jail. Wow, they made this one a tongue twister because they kept repeating the same thing, and they could have sort of abbreviated them so it wouldn't be so redundant to have to read the same thing. Colorado Bureau of Investigation, a task force thing, jeez. But nonetheless, hey, listen, I'll tell you something. A win is a win. A win is a win because the kids were just missing, but they were found alive, and I mean, it doesn't say that they were found safe, but at least they were found alive and they were taken back to their parents. Mind you, Grandma had them for 8 whole months. What was it? Yep, 8 whole months until she was found, and 5 states, huh? Wow, she really wanted to be with these grandkids. I wonder why. I wonder if there's something behind this. Maybe she knows something. Again, the children were found alive. So, at the bare minimum, she had to sustain them for 8 months. It doesn't say that the kids were found abused or anything. at least in this article, so if we take this article at face value at what I just read, it doesn't seem like she kidnapped them, she abducted them. She did have them for 8 months, but it doesn't mention anything of abuse. So while the action of kidnapping the kids was absolutely wrong, and I we can scratch that off the good list. But if you see more than what meets the eye, and you kind of analyze it, what if the 2 children were being abused where they were, and grandma knew, and grandma was like, I need to take these kids out from here? I mean, on that same note, grandma could have just been a psychopath and had bad intentions and wanted to kidnap the children. But again, they're not, it doesn't say anything negative of the conditions of the children when they were found. So I don't know, who knows, maybe we'll get more information on this case, but you can't always just go down the negative route. Like, what if she knew something? What if she saw something and she was trying to save those kids from that? She didn't do it in the correct way. She could have done it way better. But I don't know, man. Sometimes desperate times calls for desperate measures. And I'm only giving this lady the benefit of the doubt because I've seen enough true crime cases to know that once there's things with kids involved, it more than likely doesn't end on a good note. I mean, again, at least the kids were found. I mean, how many cases we haven't already read about all the horrendous things that adults do to children? No, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I don't know. I like to kind of analyze things and see past what's in front of us. So yeah, she did kidnap the kids again, and that was completely horrible. I can only imagine the parents for 8 months waiting for this kid to, they're missing. You don't know if the kid is alive or the kid is dead, and having that loom over your head, like I mentioned before, for 8 months. But at the same time, I don't know, because she was at her sister's house, her name is Danielle Ballard. So I mean, I don't know. If the aunt wouldn't have wanted to be involved in this, she would have easily told her sister not to go to the house. She would have easily not permitted this person to be anywhere close because she didn't want it to be. She probably wouldn't want to be involved in this. But the house was surveilled by all of these different. I didn't even know the United States Postal Service had inspectors like that worked together with the Department of Homeland Security to scope a place out to find missing children. Nah, this is a first. This is definitely a first. So I don't know, there's just small little details that just make me think that, there's something behind all this, and it's not just a crazy old lady that wanted to. I mean, it could well be it, but it's just like a crazy old 67-year-old woman going through all this to kidnap her 2 young grandchildren. You as well have a blessed day, and thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful Saturday. But yeah, okay. That's just my 2 cents into it. Let's move on. We are going to Florida. The title says, Florida man faces death penalty after jury finds him guilty of killing childhood friend in storage unit. True Crime Daily, published January 12, 2024. And this is in DeBarry. And it says, a jury convicted a man this week of fatally shooting his childhood friend in a storage unit where the man was staying in 2019. The Florida State Attorney's Office for the 7th Circuit announced Thursday, January 11th, that Julio Rivera was found guilty of first-degree murder and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon in connection with Roberto Ovalle's death. Rivera's sentencing is scheduled to begin Tuesday, January 16th, and he could face the death penalty. According to the State Attorney's Office, on December 8th, 2019, Rivera and his childhood friend, Ovalle, met up at a storage unit the victim rented. Ovalle reportedly allowed Rivera to stay in the storage unit. But eventually Rivera felt disrespected by his friend, pulled out a gun, and shot Ovalle in the back of the head. Ovalle's girlfriend witnessed her boyfriend's shooting death and reported it to the Volusia County Sheriff's Office. The girlfriend reportedly fled the scene, but Rivera followed her to her vehicle and accompanied her back to the victim's home, telling her he would protect her and her children. According to the sheriff's office, the victim's girlfriend said she took Rivera's firearm from him and went to her children. Rivera then traveled back to the storage unit, where he was met by responding deputies. At the time, Rivera was wanted for parole violations in relation to a separate murder conviction out of New York, and he was allegedly staying in the storage unit to avoid arrest. According to the state attorney's office, Rivera, who had been in Volusia County for only 6 weeks before killing Ovalle, admitted in a recorded jailhouse phone call that he had snapped and killed the victim. Man. Friends like these, who needs friends, huh? I sound like a broken record when I read cases like this, but it's true. I mean, a childhood friend left him in the storage unit. I hope the girlfriend becomes a key witness and she testifies against the boyfriend that committed the crime. There is not an actual video. The two links that are here are just one from the state attorney's office and one from the Volusia County Sheriff's Office. Sorry about that. Jeez. Very sad. Alright. You guys should come to California. Because the title says, California teen accused of killing family of 4, including 81-year-old man. True Crime Daily, published January 12, 2024, and this is in Reedley. And it says, a 17-year-old, his mother, and her boyfriend were arrested after 4 people were found shot to death this week. On the morning of Saturday, January 6, the Reedley Police Department responded to a distressing call about a residential burglary at a home on South Church Avenue and found a gun safe that had been completely emptied. Officers searched the property and found 81-year-old Billy Bonds and 44-year-old Guadalupe Bonds deceased. A third victim, 61-year-old Darrell Bonds, was also killed. Police began searching for a fourth person, Matthew Bonds, and said he was at risk due to health concerns and in connection to the events at his home. Investigators executed search warrants at 3 different properties in the area and discovered his body in a structure at one of the locations. Matthew Bonds was married to Guadalupe Bonds. He was Billy Bonds' grandson. All 4 victims died from gunshot wounds. On January 9th, Reedley police announced they arrested a 17-year-old male on 4 counts of homicide. The teen's mother, 34-year-old Bryn Curtis, and her boyfriend, 21-year-old Rafael Gonzalez, were taken into custody for accessory after the fact. The Fresno County District Attorney's Office has reportedly petitioned for the teen to be tried as an adult. A motive for the shooting was not released. Damn, we're getting a lot of California cases today. Interesting. Okay, all of these are just videos from the police department. Let's see, we can watch maybe this one. Let's see what the police department has to say. Okay, there's no video. This is just a statement from the police. No, I'm good with that. I don't even know what that is. I didn't even know they had like a separate portal forum, I don't know, for watching like true crime cases. Okay, good for you, True Crime Daily. That's what's up. I love this website. That's why I always come back to it. They always keep us up to date with everything that's happening in the country when it comes to true crime cases and just how evil and heinous some people can be. I'll give you an example. We're going to go to New York now. Title says, New York man sentenced for fatally strangling pregnant stranded wife. True Crime Daily, published January 12, 2024. And this is in Farmingdale. And it says, a 30-year-old man will spend 25 years to life in prison for driving to his pregnant, stranded wife's apartment and fatally strangling her in 2020. Nassau County District Attorney Ann Donnelly announced Michael Owen's sentencing Thursday, January 11th, about 5 months after he was convicted in July of 27-year-old Kelly Owen's second-degree murder. According to the district attorney's office, the victim, a nursing student, and the suspect, a cell site technician, were separated at the time of the incident. Kelly Owen shared custody of their 6-year-old child, and on January 15, 2020, her father walked her child to school while she stayed behind at her apartment on her parents' property, the district attorney's office said. Kelly Owen reportedly worked as an aide for an elementary school aftercare program, and when she didn't show up to work that day, a co-worker called her parents. Kelly Owen's parents then went to check on their daughter and found her dead. According to the district attorney's office, Kelly Owen had been strangled with a rope-like object, and officials discovered she was in the early stages of pregnancy with her stranded husband's child. Investigators obtained video surveillance footage that showed Michael Owen's car in his stranded wife's neighborhood that morning. He reportedly parked 2 blocks from Kelly Owen's apartment and turned off his cell phone to avoid location tracking. After killing his stranded wife, the district attorney's office said Michael Owen erased text messages from his and Kelly Owen's phones. During the investigation, police obtained DNA evidence from around the victim's neck, matching that of Michael Owen. Nassau County Police Department Homicides Squad initially arrested Owen on January 28, 2020. Donnelly said in a statement, Kelly was a young mother and pregnant with Owen's child at the time of her brutal murder. She worked with children and had dreams of becoming a nurse. Michael Owen stole those dreams, and now he will pay for his crimes in prison. Crossing fingers that he does. Bushlight, how are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you're having a great Saturday. So far. Wow. Which is why I told you guys before I started reading this one that clear example of just horrible things that people do. He just, when he killed his mind you, his stranded ex-wife. He wasn't even with this person anymore, and she was still carrying his child. Wow. So he killed her and the baby that was growing in her. Wow. I agree with this person here, and I hope that this person pays for his crimes in prison for a very long time. And of course, he will end up getting convicted for the killing of the premeditated killing of the stranded wife, and he'll probably get charged for the unborn child as well, which he probably already knew that that person was pregnant with his child. Unbelievable. Moving on. Okay, we already read this one, the one that happened in Florida. The delivery driver, second day of work, was robbed. I'm still in shock because of that one. I mean, like, what can you rob from? Like, just again, how much money could a pizza delivery driver have cash that you would need to kill him when the weapons that you used to kill him are worth more than the amount of money that he makes a month? I don't understand. All right. Let's go to Tennessee. Title says, Tennessee mom reportedly drove with teen daughter on top of car in a fit of rage. Oh boy. True Crime Daily published January 12, 2024. And this is in Crockett County. And it says, a 36-year-old mother faces several charges after she was arrested for driving down the street with her daughter on the hood of her car. According to Crockett County Sheriff's Department, on January 10th, deputies received a call about a domestic incident in progress and learned the issue escalated when Casey Miller allegedly drove recklessly down the road in a fit of rage. Miller's teen daughter reportedly got on top of the car during an argument and was still on the vehicle when Miller accelerated on the street. The Sheriff's Department said the daughter escaped without any physical injuries, but the emotional pain will remain. Deputies took Miller into custody on charges of aggravated child abuse, aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon. Sheriff Troy Kilsey told WREG-TV the daughter described her mother's driving as fast. He said, "Imagine if she was going 40. It probably felt like 60 on top of the car." According to Kilsey, Miller was out on bond due to another domestic-related incident involving her husband. Catch that part where it says aggravated child abuse. So this, the daughter was either 18 or younger or 16 or younger. And she drove with her on the hood of her car. Damn, her mother could only say that she was driving fast, so as to not say that this woman is insane. Already having another domestic violence incident, she probably tried to beat the shit out of her husband. Why wouldn't she drive with her daughter on the hood of her car? I did see Gypsy Rose out of jail. I saw that interview she did with CNN too, and it was quite interesting. Quite interesting. Again, all I can say is to be a fly on the wall when the man who committed the crimes for her saw the image of her with her new husband. Oh, to be a fly on the wall, just to see the reaction of that man after having lost his freedom due to committing a crime of murder for someone else, and then have that same person basically completely deny your existence and run off and marry someone else, enjoying said freedom that you no longer have. Yikes. I haven't seen the A&E one yet. You know, again, and adding to what I just said, is the fact that she's banking off of this. So they pay her to do these interviews. They're not free. So she's making money off of it. She's enjoying her freedom, married to someone else, and he has to spend a good chunk of his time in jail because he has to do his sentence, all for someone that doesn't want anything to do with you. I'm telling you, listen, you gotta worry about yourself, and that's it. At the end of the day, no one in this world, unless you're, obviously, if you're put into the situation when you have like kids and stuff like that and people are messing with your family, of course it's worth going to jail to defend your family. But other than defending the nucleus of your family and your own freedoms and liberties, man, that's where I draw the line about putting myself into situations for someone else, because it ends up like that. And now he has to spend his whole time in jail, and she had a lesser charge than he did, and she's enjoying being famous, all because of a crime that she had someone else commit for her. I'm good with that. I'm good. I like my freedom. I like my... There's a lot of people that don't... I don't understand why they don't enjoy their freedom. Listen, jail is not worth going for no one in this world. I'm sorry. I'm good. I'd rather not have issues that could lead me down that path. I'm good. There's already too many problems in the world for me to take on someone else's problems that could potentially land me in jail. And then I'm flipping channels one day, watching TV with a group of other inmates, and I see the person whom I committed this crime for talking about how they never felt anything for this person. I didn't really make him do it. It was just something that happened and whatnot. Yeah, I'm good with that. It's not worth it. Alright, let's check out a video for this same one. This is... You know, it'd be funny if there were some sort of a surveillance video for this same case where we could see the person on the hood of the car. But the video they have here is is not related to it, so we'll move on. But that was not necessarily a true crime case of like murder and whatnot, but ever so often we get these one-off cases where it's just, I find it to be a humorous break, just like the gingerbread man and the other one that we saw about the kid that goes into the tractor and drives around the city. Yeah. But let's move on to the next one. We're going to Maryland. Title says, Maryland man gets life for stabbing mother to death and dumping her body in marsh. True Crime Daily published January 12, 2024, and this is in Tracy's Landing. And it says, a 26-year-old man will spend the rest of his life behind bars for killing his mother, a cybersecurity executive in 2021. A judge sentenced Andrew Beavers on Thursday, January 11th, to life in prison for the first-degree murder of his mother, Juanita Coyopelay, the Anne Arundel County State's Attorney's Office announced. A jury convicted him of the charge, as well as weapons offense, following a week-long trial in August 2023, according to an initial press release from the Anne Arundel County Police Department. On Sunday, July 25th, 2021, shortly before 3:30 p.m., officers responded to the 6300 block of Genoa Road in reference to a missing person. At the scene, Coyopelay's boyfriend told police he hadn't seen his girlfriend, and he noticed blood inside the home. The state's attorney's office said officers followed the trail of blood from the master bedroom to a marshy area on the property, where they discovered Coyopelay's body covered in grass and other debris. An autopsy showed the victim died of multiple stab wounds, and officials ruled her death a homicide. According to the state's attorney's office, Coyopelay sustained 65 defense injuries and 38 cutting and stab wounds in total. Wow. A witness reportedly told investigators the victim's son, Andrew Beavers, had previously assaulted his mother, and he would often drive her car, which was missing from the property. Police found the vehicle in Leesburg, Virginia, the next day. During the investigation, police noticed a fresh laceration on Beavers' right hand, and he refused to explain the injury. Officials also found his DNA on the weapon used in his mother's slaying. Police concluded Beavers killed his mother, hid her body on the property, and then fled to Leesburg, Virginia, where he was arrested on July 31st, 2021. In addition to the life sentence, Beavers was given 3 years for the weapons offense, which will be served concurrently. State's attorneys Ann Colt Latis said in a statement, his mother provided him with a place to live, a vehicle to drive, and only wanted the best for her son. This sentence holds him accountable for his actions and provides justice for Juanita's family and loved ones. Yikes. Mind you, he had already previously assaulted his mother. So he was one of those like abuser kind of men, I guess, quote unquote. Very sad. Very sad. He stabbed her 38 times. And there were 65 defense injuries, which means that 65 of them were her holding her arms or positioning her body in a way that she would not get stabbed. And they call it 65 of those injuries. On top of that, then you have the 38 stab wounds. Wow. I don't know. It seems like she either didn't call police or the first time the son had assaulted her. I think sometimes it's because of the, fact that that's your son. You don't want that person to get into trouble, so you don't call law enforcement or, you don't seek anything else other than the fact that it happened, and he probably apologized in that moment, and because it's his mother and whatnot, she ended up forgiving him. But dang, if she would have only took it a step further when he had assaulted her the first time, call the police, get him arrested. But yeah, ended up with him killing her. Wow. And he took her car too. So not only is he a murderer, he's a thief too. Alright, this one does not have a news video attached to it. So we will move on to the next case. Telling you, these titles. Wow. Alright, we're going to Pennsylvania. Listen to this. Woman accused of fatally poisoning baby allegedly made her ingest batteries, water beads, for months. True Crime Daily published January 11th, 2024, and this is in Newcastle. And it says, officials arrested a 20-year-old woman this week after she allegedly forced her boyfriend's 1-year-old daughter to ingest harmful objects for months and fatally poisoned her with acetone. Pennsylvania Attorney General Michelle Henry announced Thursday, January 11th, that her office charged Alicia Owens with criminal homicide, attempted homicide, aggravated assault of a child, endangering the welfare of a child, and other offenses related to the alleged abuse and death of Iris Alfera. According to the Attorney General's office, on June 25th, 2023, emergency responders went to the home of Bailey Jacoby, Owens' boyfriend, where they found his 1-year-old daughter, Alfera, unresponsive. The child was transported to University of Pittsburgh Medical Center Jameson Hospital for treatment, and she was later airlifted to University of Pittsburgh Medical Center Children's Hospital. Despite treatment, she died on June 29th, 2023. An autopsy revealed the 1-year-old died due to a fatal dose of acetone, which officials believed she had ingested shortly before her death. Months before she died, Alfera had reportedly been hospitalized after she allegedly swallowed different objects, including 20 water beads, batteries, and a metal screw. According to the Attorney General's office, from around February 2023 until June 2023, Owens had conducted web searches on her cell phone related to the actions that ultimately led to the child's death. She allegedly researched household items that could harm or kill a child, including water beads, batteries, and nail polish. The Attorney General's office alleges Owens searched phrases such as beauty products that are poisonous to kids and medications leading to cause accidental poisoning deaths in children. Water beads are often used in children's toys and can cause serious harm if they are swallowed. The Attorney General's office filed the charges against Owens on January 11th, and she was denied bail. Well, right next to you, Bush, listen, she wasn't even the mom of the kid. She wasn't even this child's mother. I mean, it's not any sort of defense if it would have been her mother or not, but in this case, it was her boyfriend's daughter, 1-year-old daughter, and she had made this child swallow batteries. Wow. Batteries and a metal screw, but specifically the batteries that have lithium in them. Isn't that something, huh? I mean, we read that case a few weeks ago about that was her father. It was a 5-month-old father, and I mentioned it here before. After that had dumped the 5-month-old in scorching hot water, which led to the child losing a few limbs, like a few fingers and whatnot. Every single week, every time I do a live stream, it's just a reminder of just how depraved human beings can be, especially when it comes to children, because they're defenseless. Why not? Why didn't she try to force her own boyfriend to eat the batteries? Because he would have probably beat the shit out of her. Because of that. Because she's trying to poison him. Let alone, thinking that you could have done it to a child and get away with it. Because that's another thing. I mean, why wasn't she arrested, or why wasn't there an investigation done when she was hospitalized the first time after they had allegedly noticed that she had swallowed those objects. Like, why wasn't she put into jail at that point? So that's one thing. If anything, the justice system failed this 1-year-old, because that woman should have already been in jail beforehand. But now, it's to the point where she had the child ingest water beads, batteries, and nail polish, and she was looking for all of these. She was searching for those phrases on Google that if you're reading it from the outside, they don't look as sinister as it looks now that we're reading it related to the article because of the case that just happened. But, beauty products that are poisonous to kids would be something that a worried mother or a worried parent would Google search because they don't want their kids ingesting these type of things. But in this case, it's all the contrary, because she was feeding these things to these kids. So she was looking for these phrases specifically to know what would cause these reactions to these kids to end up killing them at the end. So this person knew exactly what they were doing. Nail polish, huh? Batteries. Wow. 1-year-old. I don't have kids, but don't 1-year-olds, isn't it still too early for them to eat certain foods? They don't eat solid stuff like that, let alone a battery, and they didn't do anything about it. That is insane. Telling you, for a country that promotes wanting to help kids so much, we are consistently failing these kids. I've said it before, this is the worst time to be a child. And every day, every time we do a live stream, I don't do them every day, but every day that these type of things happen and we read them in the live streams, I just feel like they just keep getting worse and worse. 1-year-old, huh? And it's either 1-year-old, a 5-month-old, 8-month-old. Jeez. Wow. Okay. We're going to Omaha. Just moving on to the next case. Okay. We're going to Omaha. Title says, Omaha woman accused of shooting boyfriend till his head was almost off the body. Wow. True Crime Daily, published January 11th, 2024. And this is in Nebraska. And it says, police arrested a 31-year-old woman on suspicion of shooting and killing her boyfriend and fleeing the house nearly naked. On Friday, December 29th, at 5:10 p.m., Omaha Police Department officers responded to a potential home invasion call on North 55 Plaza and came in contact with a 31-year-old Alyssa Roman. Police went into the home and discovered 33-year-old Alan Kritzer deceased. Roman was subsequently arrested on charges of second-degree murder and use of a weapon to commit a felony. According to court documents cited by WOWT-TV, Roman was wearing only a shirt and no pants when police took her into custody. They transported her to a nearby hospital because she reportedly exhibited signs of excited delirium. Officers reportedly located a shotgun with women's clothing on top of it in one bedroom and Kritzer deceased in another. KETV-TV reports Kritzer sustained gunshot wounds to the neck and upper torso, which resulted in his head being almost off the body. Wow. According to his obituary, Kritzer grew up in Indiana and served as an airman first class in the U.S. Air Force for several years until his honorable discharge in September 2014. He went to the University of Nebraska, Omaha, for animal biology and enjoyed playing video games, cooking, and staying active. Douglas County Jail records show Roman is being held without bond. Wow. What happened that day? Because it was with a shotgun. Wow. Almost off the body, huh? Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Alright, let's see what KETV has to say about this. Again, it doesn't have a motive to it, so we don't really know why she did it. We just know that she did it. She was... I think her intention was to literally... And this is going to sound horrible, but literally she was trying to blow his brains out. I mean, the blast was between his head and torso, and the article says that it was almost off his body. So, yeah.
In Douglas County, prosecutors say a woman was high on...
This is from KETV.com, like I mentioned before. Title says, Omaha woman charged with second-degree murder in deadly shooting held without bond.
On LSD when she killed her boyfriend. Court documents...
And there we go. Sorry, I put the volume down.
Saying she tried to get into their home. In Douglas County, prosecutors say a woman was high on LSD when she killed her boyfriend. Court documents say Alyssa Roman's neighbors called 911 saying she tried to get into their home while only wearing a shirt.
Gotcha.
Police say she ran back to her home near Hanover Circle and Mormon Bridge Road. Officers arrested her and found Alan Christer's body. He was shot in the neck, his head nearly severed. Police say they found his shotgun in another room covered by women's pants and underwear.
Sorry about that. Okay. That kind of explains it right there. That explains it a whole lot. She did a whole bunch of acid. She's probably going on a bad acid trip. Who knows what the hell she was seeing? I mean, if you don't know, acid, LSD, it's a hallucinogenic, very strong one. Very, very potent, especially, depending on what type of LSD you take. There are like different stages. Some of them are a lot calmer, and each experience is different, but she probably did a whole bunch of it without realizing her own tolerance level. I mean, I'm just speculating. This is my own personal opinion, because they failed to mention that part. They just said that she was excited delirium in this article from True Crime Daily, but the video said that she was on LSD. So she probably took a whole bunch of LSD. She was under a huge episode of hallucination, and she could not tell left from right, and yeah, probably did that whole thing. Who knows what that woman was seeing, what sort of skeletons she had in her own closet, or the demons that she had inside that come to fruition in some sort of hallucination that you're having. Could be visual, could be auditory. It's a very potent, life-changing, life-altering substance, depending on your perspective on it. There have been plenty of people that have had, including myself, have had plenty of... I've actually never had a bad experience with LSD. But I know many people that have had it. I know many people that have only taken it once, and they just couldn't take what the substance does to you. So, they steer clear from it, and it's not for everyone. I mean, cannabis isn't even for everyone. There's people that take one toke of a joint, and they will literally just cease to be themselves. And some people get huge allergic reactions to it. Some people get extreme paranoia. Like, I once smoked with someone, and she thought that she was seeing aliens and like ghosts, and the trees were talking to her, and that the weed wasn't even that good. So it's not like we were smoking some potent stuff. It was like some mid crappy weed, and she completely flipped down. And I had another person too that smoked with him once, and my man started taking off his t-shirt and stuff, saying that that hell was taking over and that Satan was burning his skin alive. Verbatim, just like that. So, yeah. I think people underestimate how potent drugs really are, and they just think it's a walk in the park, but it's not, especially something as strong as LSD, which is why it's life-altering. There's a before and after. In this case, for her before and after, she murdered her boyfriend. Wow. With a shotgun. Then tried to hide said shotgun. Yeah, I don't know, man. Drugs aren't for everyone. And very sad. Like I said, who knows if that dude was just like sitting there. They was probably just tripping balls, both of them, and all of a sudden she just takes a shotgun and shoots him. Like, again, who knows what she was seeing? Who knows if what she was seeing in that moment was not him, but her deepest, darkest fear. Dude, it could happen. Again, it's you're hallucinating. And if it's potent LSD, dude, you're going to hallucinate really, really hard. So, yeah, who knows? Who knows what that woman saw? I mean, I'm not justifying it. It's not to her defense. It's just trying to analyze what we just read, and I'm just giving my 2 cents. Like, my own personal opinion. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, but drawing from my own experience in life and all of the times I've done said drug that this woman did, yeah, it has not affected me in that way, but again, who knows why. Very sad. Very sad. And he was in the military too. I mean, he served his country. He was honorably discharged, went to college. He liked a lot of the things that I liked as well. I love cooking. I love video games. Damn. So, very sad. Very sad indeed. Alright. We are going to Oklahoma. Title says, Oklahoma woman gets life for killing disabled sister-in-law and hiding her body in box for 3 years. True Crime Daily published January 11th, 2024, and this is in Cleveland County. And it says, a 29-year-old woman will spend her life in prison for killing her husband's disabled sister, keeping her body in a box, and continuing to collect her Social Security payments. Wow. Court records show Desiree Sanchez was sentenced Wednesday, January 10th, about 2 months after she was convicted of the first-degree murder of 19-year-old Margarita Maggie Sandoval. The judge also sentenced Sanchez to 5 years for unlawful removal of a dead body. Sanchez's husband, Octavio Sanchez, is awaiting trial on the same charges. In May 2021, Norman Police Department officers responded to a residence on West Lindsay Street after someone reported finding a body wrapped in plastic, which had been left inside a box in the basement. Desiree and Octavio Sanchez were arrested in July 2022, following a 14-month investigation into Sandoval's death, though Octavio Sanchez was already behind bars on unrelated charges in another county. KFOR-TV reports Sandoval's cause of death remained undetermined due to the level of decomposition. Investigators learned Sandoval moved in with Octavio and Desiree Sanchez in January 2018, but a few months later, several family members stopped hearing from her. According to the Cleveland County District Attorney's Office, Sandoval was intellectually disabled and required around-the-clock care. The statement says Desiree Sanchez killed Sandoval and cashed in her Social Security checks up until the week before Sandoval's body was found. KFOR reports the Sanchez's collected close to $31,000 from Sandoval's Social Security checks and $3,200 from other government subsidies. Octavio and Desiree Sanchez reportedly sent messages to each other about Sandoval and called her trash and fat garbage. They allegedly said they had to, quote-unquote, get rid of her. According to KFOR, Desiree and Octavio Sanchez reportedly discussed blaming Octavio Sanchez for the killing because he had a prior criminal record. Following the conviction, District Attorney Greg Mashburn said Sandoval deserved better than how Desiree Sandoval treated her. Wow, $31,000, huh? I mean, it's pretty obvious that they had already intended on killing I'm sorry, what's her name? Maggie. They already had that planned out because they knew that they could steal the Social Security payments that were being given to her. So, I mean, not only did they steal from Social Security, mind you, Social Security is, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I use my phone as a camera, and I'm getting an incoming call right now, so I'm waiting until the call finishes up. Which is odd, because I had put the do not disturb. So, oh well, I'll call that person back. That's fine. They'll be okay. But yeah, Maggie, she was intellectually disabled. She was confined to a bed and she needed care 24 hours a day. They thought they could just take this person out, erase her as if nothing happened, like as if no one would notice that this human being is missing, and they kept cashing in her checks. They made up this whole lie about this person just to continue to cash the Social Security payments to not get a job. That's it. At the end of the day, it was just ways to cheat the system and not having to get a job. Two individuals, two human beings, chose to better kill someone and continue to cash that person's checks because they thought that they could just do that and that no one else was going to notice, and they were going to end up blaming someone else for it as well because that person had already spent time in jail. Mind you, that person is the accomplice to Desiree. So they're not even smart enough to try to blame it on a third person. No, they picked these. They were going to blame the boyfriend. I mean, what kind of criminal mastermind plan is this? This is horrible. I mean, they couldn't even do that right. And the only person that has to pay for this is Maggie. I mean, life had already dealt her horrendous cards. On top of that, she needed to have these two individuals in her life. Horrible. And that's like his crazy. Mind you, now this whole family has to deal with this. Again, life had already given this person some horrible cards. Then on top of that, you get this. Because, just to repeat, she was confined to a bed. And the messages they were calling her like trash. And they were talking about getting rid of her like she's a piece of garbage that just needs to be taken out. As opposed to it being like an actual human being. Isn't that something, huh? Cashing in on those checks. Because where do you think Social Security money comes from? I just throwing it out there because Social Security is done through the government. How do you think the government gets money? That's us. So this woman was literally stealing from us taxpayers after having committed a horrendous crime against her stepdaughter. Because it always leads back to the taxpayer, huh? Isn't that something? We're involved in things even though we didn't have anything to do with it. I mean, you can look for it. You can always Google it. Social Security is funded by taxpayer money. That's why it's taken out of your paycheck. So then later, when you get to the age of 65 or older, I guess there are some politicians trying to change that, but it's supposed to be 65 or older, and then you start cashing in your Medicaid and your Social Security and all that. But those are all done through the work that you put into, but it's from the taxes that they take out of your money. Like they're not taking additional money. It's from your income tax. They take those taxes. You're paying for Medicare, Medicaid, and all this, but that's also a social program. So there's money taken out from your own Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare from each paycheck that's being used to redistribute it to other people that need Social Security. So in this case, if you want to see it really realistically, taxpayers were led to believe that they were paying for the Social Security of someone that completely needed it, but in reality, these two criminals had already killed that person and were using that taxpayer money basically to fund their own criminal lifestyle. Let's just call it that. I'm telling you, all I got to do is reconnect everything, and it always comes back to the taxpayer. All right, we're going to Utah. Title says, a Utah massage therapist found dead after being brutally attacked and stabbed. True Crime Daily, published January 11th, 2024. And this is in Midvale. And it says, police are searching for a suspect or suspects after a 45-year-old woman was found stabbed to death in a massage parlor where she worked in what officials are calling a brutal homicide. On January 4th, Unified Police Department officers were called to 7444 South State Street regarding a suspicious death and a woman deceased from a brutal and tragic homicide. KUTV TV reports police identified the victim as Yuping Jiao, a massage therapist at A Plus Massage. KUTV, which cites a Unified Police Department press release, reports Jiao had been brutally attacked and stabbed multiple times, most likely between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. on January 4th. Police called the stabbing heinous and deeply concerning. Jiao was reportedly working alone at the massage parlor when she was killed. KSTU TV reports police identified some persons of interest, but no arrests have been made. Unified Police reportedly said in a statement, in light of this disturbing incident, we urge individuals working in a similar occupation to exercise extreme caution when dealing with clients and report any suspicious interactions, whether past or current, to the local authorities. A motive for the stabbing remains unknown. I don't know if you guys remember that. There was once, probably a few years ago, it was like 2-3 years ago, this was happening. And I remember there being a shooting at a massage parlor, and they killed a few of the ladies that work there. Yep. I mean, some people are racists. I'm just going to say it straight up. You never know what could happen, but in that case, it was because of like racism. Like, you know, they're not from here, I guess. Whoever committed the crimes, they just went down that path, and it was pretty awful. I mean, that's what the media reported, that it was because of that. I don't know what happened here. I wouldn't be surprised if it were because of that, but yeah, maybe we'll get more information from one of these news websites. This is from 2KUTV. Dare I say Utah? Or is it specifically from Midvale? Oh well. This one does not have a video. It is the same. Oh. Okay, no, this is another case. Teen shot victim 14 times with the gun. Wow. Okay, that's a separate case. I thought this picture of this individual was part of the whole case, but it's not. It's a different case. To the cause of death revealed, police urge caution after massage spa homicide. Let's see what this video has to say. This is from Fox 13 Now from Salt Lake City.
This is how A Plus Massage in Midvale looks now. A week ago, a woman who was working alone inside was killed.
It's a really terrifying moment to know that that's stuff that happens, whether it's in our community or anywhere.
Police say she was 45-year-old Yuping Xiao.
The victim was a Chinese immigrant, and she was stabbed, unfortunately, multiple times.
Definitely takes a toll. Anytime we have attention or negative attention on our industry, or bad things happen.
Tiffany Jackson, a licensed massage therapist and founder of Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork, says safety plays a big role in this line of work, and it's important to be licensed.
We're one-on-one with somebody who's typically also undressing, climbing underneath the sheets here, just like this, right? And our biggest responsibility is to keep ourselves and the client safe.
Police are also reminding massage therapists to be careful of their clients.
Whether that's verifying the previous people that they've gone to, the businesses that they've gone to, and doing reference checks, verifying identification, address, phone number.
Because safety is a high priority and it's important for clients to know the services that licensed professionals can offer, Tiffany founded the organization Utah Massage Employers.
The goal there was to educate employers and employees how to work together for a safer environment and for a better outcome for everyone.
Unified Police say they still need your help in this investigation. If you were in this area between 1 and 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, January 4th, and may know what happened, you're asked to contact Unified Police. In Midvale, I am Mike Taligo-B, Fox 13 News, Utah.
It's a really pretty name, Mythily. It could be a lot of things, now that I think about it. Could be racism. Could be someone that thought that they were going to get something else from a spa, massage parlor, quote-unquote, happy ending, and maybe this person was like, hell no, and whoever killed her because of that. It could be a lot of things. I mean, one can only wonder and make up their own conclusions based off of what we see and read. But yeah, again, I personally think that it could be any of those three that I mentioned. It could be racism, could be, someone that thought they were going to get something else and they were extremely wrong, or it could be jealousy. There could be a lot of things, but very sad. And the fact that she was stabbed, so it wasn't like something like a gunshot wound or anything. Like she was brutally attacked and stabbed multiple times. So whoever did it really wanted to cause some damage. They say that stabbings are normally crimes of passion. I don't know. Could have also been a previous boyfriend that she had. There are a lot of things. All right, we're gonna read these last two, and then I will end the live stream for today. I will be back live streaming on Friday for. I'll probably move True Crime Daily for Friday, depending on how the interview goes on Monday. If not, I'll keep it for Saturday. But I will be doing another one of these video game hangout live streams like I did last night. We'll do a different game, a little bit more active, but that was great. That really helped my mental well-being and just being able to just have a moment of sort of like breathing and taking it easy, having a calm moment. But for the next one, I'll include more conversation and I'll put in a few more topics so that we can also talk as well whilst you watch me play. But yeah, that's gonna happen during the week. Just join the Discord, discord.com/KAS True Crime. You can create an account and just join the server, and I'll let you know there what day I'll do that live stream. I'm also bringing back very, very, very soon the other segment that I used to do, Coffee, the News, and Us. I really miss talking about science and more good news, uplifting things than true crime. To have a balance in my life. Continue on with my true crime channel, but also have that opposite one where I get to talk about other things as well. So at the end of the day, it's just basically any excuse to be in front of a camera. I should have been doing this a long time ago, but life knows why it does its things, and better late than never. That's what I say. For one of the last two ones that we're going to read, we'll first go to San Antonio. Title says, third person arrested in connection with shooting deaths of pregnant teen and her boyfriend. Published January 11th, 2024. This is True Crime Daily, and we are in Texas. Police have arrested a third suspect on suspicion of a corpse after a pregnant teen and her boyfriend were found fatally shot inside a car just before the new year. On Wednesday, January 10th, the San Antonio Police Department announced officers took Mirta Romanos into custody on charges of abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, and alter/destroy/conceal a human corpse. Last week, police arrested 19-year-old Christopher Preciado for capital murder and his father, 53-year-old Ramon Preciado, on a charge of abuse of a corpse in connection with the shooting deaths of 18-year-old Savannah Soto and 22-year-old Matthew Guerra. This was the case that we read about last week, that we saw the Tik-Tok videos about as well. Just to show you, these are the two individuals. The Tik-Tok videos spoke in length about them being convicted and whatnot. But I guess that we have someone else that we're adding to the list of murderers that took part in this horrendous crime. Now listen. Yes. The news reported that they found text messages on Savannah's phone and on Matthew's phone, so on both their phones, of a drug deal. So basically this was a drug deal gone wrong. People were suspicious of it. Police were still investigating that, but at the end of the day, it was determined that yes, this was a drug deal gone wrong. They were dealing drugs. That they deserved to be killed in this manner? Absolutely not. I mean, the fact that they were selling drugs should not have led to this, but it is a vital piece of information for the investigation, you know, because that sort of makes it easier to close in on who could have been a part of this murder. Because they were shot at literally point blank. So they really wanted Savannah and Matthew dead, but the reasoning behind it, I'm not defending anything, but the actual reason that was reported by law enforcement and investigators is that, yeah, it was definitely a drug deal gone wrong, and it's like confirmed. All right, so we'll keep reading. It says, San Antonio Police Sergeant Michelle Ramos said at a news briefing, officials believe Romanos could be Christopher Preciado's stepmother and Ramon Preciado's wife. Soto was reported missing to the Leon Valley Police Department on December 23rd after she failed to show up to an appointment to be induced to give birth. Soto and Guerra's bodies were discovered December 26th inside a vehicle near an apartment building on the 5900 block of Danny K in San Antonio. Both victims had been shot in the head. At the time, San Antonio Police Chief William McManus said it was a very, very perplexing crime scene. After the arrests of Christopher Preciado and Ramon Preciado, Sergeant Washington Moscoso said Soto and Guerra were killed over a narcotics-related deal that went bad on the night of December 21st. Surveillance video from the scene of the killings shows a dark Chevy Silverado pickup truck stop next to a gray Kia Optima that Guerra and Soto were believed to be traveling in. A male in a white tank top gets off the vehicle and speaks with the Kia's driver. The man turns back to the truck, and someone hands him what appears to be a white towel. The man looks like he wipes something off, then gets back in his truck and drives away. The Kia departs in the opposite direction at the same time. The arrest affidavit says Soto and Guerra were most likely already dead in the vehicle when it stopped next to the Silverado. Romanos allegedly hid the gun used in the killings. Christopher Preciado reportedly told investigators that Soto and Guerra drove to his house to sell him cannabis, but then Guerra pointed a gun at him. According to the affidavit, Christopher Preciado said he was able to manipulate the weapon, resulting in the female being shot. He alleged Guerra pointed a gun at him again, so he manipulated the weapon again, resulting in the male victim being shot. Detectives said Christopher Preciado's timeline of events were inconsistent with evidence collected at the scene and from the victim's recovered vehicle. Police do not believe there are any additional suspects. Now that part where it says so he manipulated the weapon again, resulting in the male victim being shot. So like there was a kerfuffle, sort of a scuffle there, and what guy Christopher was basically trying to say is that he pulled the trigger of the Matthew had pulled the trigger on the gun and shot himself right after having pulled the trigger on the gun that Christopher was holding to shoot Savannah. As if that makes any sense. The weirdest part is that this is not the first time this excuse has been used. I read a case about a month or two ago, and it was the same thing. He said it was a husband and a wife. The husband had killed the wife, and he said that she had purposefully tried to fight him while he was holding the gun, and she grabbed his hand and pulled the trigger so she could get shot. I mean, come on now. Come on. There's this, you guys have probably already heard of this. He was a really famous investigator. He had uncovered a lot of things that had to do with like the government and whatnot, and like the military and shit. And he was found dead in his home with two self-inflicted gunshot wounds to his head. But if you really think about it, like he shot himself. Like how could he shoot himself the first time and then shoot himself a second time? You feel me? It's these inconsistencies that people think that, you know, you can't look beyond that point and kind of say like, oh, come on, it's not a suicide. Someone shot and killed him. Point blank, shot him twice in the head. Same thing here. They're trying to, this guy is trying to make it seem like these in separate occurrences during the same event tried to take the gun away from him, and they ended up shooting someone else who just so happened to be shot in the head, because coincidentally they were both shot in the head. Very sad, because she was pregnant. She was about to give birth, so a child also, I think, died as well. Wow. Alright, last case we're going to read tonight. We're going to Florida. Title says, Florida woman allegedly stabbed her elderly mother to death during fight. True Crime Daily published January 11th, 2024, and this is in Barefoot Bay. And it says, a 49-year-old woman is in custody after allegedly fatally stabbing her 69-year-old mother this week. On Tuesday, January 9th, shortly after 5 a.m., deputies with the Brevard County Sheriff's Office responded to a home in reference to an injured woman. Inside, authorities found Cheryl Muir suffering from multiple stab wounds, and she was pronounced dead at the scene. According to the sheriff's office, based on collected evidence and interviews, investigators believe the victim and her daughter, Kelly Tinsley, got into a physical altercation on the night of January 8th. During the fight, Tinsley allegedly stabbed her mother to death. A judge issued an arrest warrant for Tinsley, charging her with manslaughter reclassified with the use of a weapon. The sheriff's office apprehended Tinsley and booked her into the Brevard County Jail, where she remained without bond. The investigation is ongoing. Wow. It's like the third one we've seen today, third or fourth one on this live stream alone that has been solely people stabbing other people to death. And that's something. This video does not this article does not have a news video attached to it. Let's see, just out of curiosity, see if there's anything else. We read this one. Read that one. Read that one. Wow, another LSD case, huh? Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Okay, we'll end up with this one. California man sentenced for killing 77-year-old woman with belt claims he was on LSD. True Crime Daily published January 10th, 2024, and this is in Arroyo Grande. And it says, a 21-year-old man will spend 25 years to life behind bars in connection with the 2020 death of a 77-year-old woman whose body was found in her home. San Luis Obispo County District Attorney Dan Down announced Kayne Mendible's sentencing on January 10th. He previously pleaded guilty to the first-degree murder of Marion Vore on October 30th. According to the initial press release from the San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Office, on November 27th, 2020, shortly after 5 p.m., deputies responded to a report of trespassing in the 2000 block of Chamisil Lane. Deputies performed a welfare check at a home nearby and found Vore deceased inside from an apparent homicide. According to KSBY TV, Mendibles, who was 18 years old at the time, reportedly killed Vore using a belt. The sheriff's office issued a be on the lookout, which is a BOLO, alert for Mendibles after he fled the scene in a car. Deputies located the suspect shortly before 10 p.m. in Pismo Beach and arrested him on a charge of murder. KSBY reports that Mendibles provided a statement before his sentencing, claiming he was on LSD during Vore's slaying and he apologized to her family. Vore's daughter also reportedly spoke in court, stating, even 3 years past her death, I received phone calls on her birthday from around the world from her friends who were trying to grasp that she will never answer again. it's people that already have skeletons in their closet and have a whole bunch of shit going on in their own lives and in their own mind, take these extremely powerful substances that are made, and I repeat it again, it's made for, or it's a life-altering experience, without fully grasping and understanding just how potent it is. It's not meant for... You have to be in a very good mental state to be able to understand and appreciate a substance like LSD. The same thing for like mushrooms and stuff like that, peyote. They are literally considered to many people religious experiences, whether you believe in religion or not. They're spiritual experiences. But when you are in a very bad state of mind, it reacts differently in you. And it just opens the doors to all of these things that you've had in your subconscious and you've had dug deep, or weird thoughts, or whatever the case may be. And it could manifest itself in some like very, very, very weird, very horrible hallucinations. I mean, I'm not justifying. I didn't justify the other one. I'm not justifying this one as well. I'm just giving a reasoning as to, why LSD could conduce to something like that. But it's not the substance, because if that would be the case, every single person out there in the world that has ever done LSD would have committed a crime like this. And there's a very, very good chunk of the population that has done it that has never done this. All right, so it's just that link between what you already have in here and you taking this hallucinogenic and all of these things coming out and pouring out. And plus, this kid's 18 years old. I mean, it's not like an 18-year-old has lived experiences enough to be able to control themselves and understand that they are on a substance that could cause these effects to them. They're 18. I mean, come on now. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't know anything at the age of 18, but just how much could an 18-year-old know about something like acid? I don't know, man. Let's see if this has a video for us to watch, and then we'll end the live stream with this case. With this video. Sorry. Well, yeah, case, yeah, but with this video. This is from KSBY, this is California Central Coast, and this is news from, I guess, Fresno. Shout out Fresno. Title says Fresno man sentenced to life in prison for Arroyo Grande woman's murder.
I'm Neil Hebert, your community reporter in San Luis Obispo, where a Fresno man convicted of killing an Arroyo Grande woman back in 2020 was back before a judge Tuesday. 21-year-old Cayoni Elias Mendibles was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years for the first-degree murder of 77-year-old Marian Janine Vore. Vore's body was found in her Arroyo Grande home on Chamisal Lane the day after Thanksgiving in 2020. Mendibles, who turned 18 just 3 weeks prior to the murder, was arrested that same night in Pismo Beach. He reportedly used a belt in the killing. Vore's daughter Chelsea Neal became emotional while speaking in front of the judge, asking for the maximum sentence for her mother's killer.
Even 3 years past her death, I received phone calls on her birthday from around the world from her friends who are still trying to grasp she will never answer again. Over the past 3 years, my mother's death has been referred to as a case number. However, to us, she was our world, and I want to remind people of that.
Mendibles gave a statement prior to receiving his life sentence, saying that he was on LSD when he killed Vore. He also briefly apologized to the family, but Judge Mon-Fri said he believes the crime was senseless and that the now 21-year-old is detached from reality. Mendibles was denied probation. In San Luis Obispo, Neil Hebert, KSBY News.
Yep, good that he was denied bail and bond. That's it. Stay in jail, bud. That's how it goes. Alrighty. I appreciate everyone being here today. You know where to find me. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads. If you want to further support me, you can use your Amazon Prime on Twitch. That's Twitch Prime, or you can follow me there. It'll notify you when I go live. That would help support me very, very much. The follow or the subscription to Twitch. I also have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/KAS True Crime. It's $1 a month. If you want to further support me in that manner, you get a whole bunch of benefits that include audio versions of the live streams, private Discord channels where we do the same thing as the public side, but we do it just Patreon members, where you can also easily communicate with me. You get a whole bunch of benefits for Twitch as well. Soon enough, it'll be here for YouTube. I am looking for mods and for anyone interested in eventually becoming a mod on Twitch or on Discord, here on YouTube as well. I mean, wherever you're watching, that's I'll have a mod there available, but that's slowly but surely. I'm still growing the community. I'll mention the Discord again, discord.com/KAS True Crime. We watch horror movies, crime movies, thrillers, TV shows, documentaries, general chat, entertainment, conversation, true crime cases. Dude, we do a little bit of everything, but I try to keep it more towards the occult, horror, true crime, murder mystery kind of ordeal. So if you're interested in those topics without getting into heavy conspiracy theories that are floating around now, then please join that Discord. That is a perfect place for us to be friends. We'll talk. It's 18 plus, no minors. Don't even think about it. 18 plus, adult only. That's discord.com/KAS True Crime. And that's about it for me today. This was wonderful. Betty, I appreciate you stopping by. Bushlight, appreciate you stopping by as well. I hope you both have a very wonderful Saturday. Have a great weekend. It is getting a lot colder right now, so I'm gonna have to put on another layer now because it's cold. You can only have a heater on for so long before these energy companies start like exceeding the amount that they charge. I mean, yeah, I'm not about to pay $300-400 to like PG&E, which is the one that serves us here in California, like Pacific Gas and Electricity. $400 to put like a heater on and shit. I'll toughen it out and I'll put some layers on. It's not that cold. It's not like exceedingly cold, like freezing, but it's cold enough to kind of keep you wanting to be warm. But I'm not going down the route of falling for the temptation of turning on these heaters, because one of my neighbors paid like $500 and some odd because she kept the heater on in her house, and I'm not about to pay that. $500, that's an exaggeration that should be looked into. That's insane. These companies are losing their minds, but that's neither here nor there. You guys have a very wonderful weekend. I'm about to make some food now. Join the Discord. We'll watch a movie later on, and have a great day. Thank you for being here. This is KAS True Crime. I'm Angel, your host. Peace.